You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. A fifth grade teacher in Plainview has been removed from the classroom and is being investigated. In a letter to families, the principal at Howard B. Matlin Middle School described a, quote, inappropriate assignment in a health class. So here's a look at what students were given. The teacher, Ms. Biter, handed out a quiz about a hypothetical nuclear strike and asked kids who they would share a fallout shelter with. One option was a 16-year-old pregnant girl. Another option was a husband and wife where he's a lawyer and she's an alcoholic. The school says a substitute is now teaching the class. And a mother accused of running over her son's alleged bully twice appeared in court today. Sherry Einhorn has more.
Shirley mother Jennifer Nelson is facing multiple felony charges for attempted murder, assault, and reckless endangerment. Prosecutors say in October 2022, she drove to the Dunkin' Donuts across from William Floyd High School to confront a group of students who allegedly beat up her son and stole his slides. In court today, we heard from a teenaged witness, an 11th grader at the high school, who says he saw the fight and what happened next. We also saw a compilation of cell phone and surveillance videos that prosecutors say shows Nelson pulling into the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot and threatening a group of students with a knife. On the video, she can be heard saying, quote, "You all did this to my son. Your life is ended today. So call your parents, call whoever." We then see students scatter. Prosecutors say Nelson got back into her car and followed one of them across the street to a bagel shop, where investigators say she drove straight into him, reversed, and ran him over a second time. On cross-examination, though, the witness admitted that he told Nelson a middle schooler named Zachary was the one responsible for the attack, not the teens he testified earlier had assaulted her son. He also said on the stand that he hadn't told anyone from the DA's office about the made-up story. Defense attorney Catherine Fernandez says that discredits the prosecution's case.
At that moment, you would presume she's looking for a Zachary at the middle school. She's no longer worried about this other individual that the people had you believe up until this point, Jen Nelson, quote unquote, tracked down and did this vigilante justice and tried to kill.
Prosecutors declined to speak with us on camera. Now, late in the day, the teen who was allegedly run over by Nelson took the stand. His testimony continues on Thursday. In Riverhead, I'm Sherry Einhorn for Newsday TV.
Kumo Sushi and Steakhouse in Stony Brook is being sued. The lawsuit was filed by a mom and grandma that got sick at a birthday party. They were among the nearly 30 people who got a foodborne illness from eating rice there. Court papers say the two are still sick and undergoing medical treatment. The health department issued 15 violations to the restaurant. And a Long Island chiropractor has pleaded guilty to inappropriately touching a teenage girl. Suffolk prosecutors say Ronald Bernardini of Lake Ronkonkoma struck a plea deal which involved surrendering his license to practice. The 65-year-old man was also issued an order of protection against the 16-year-old victim. And only in Newsday, Rex Huberman's wife is asking for his guns back. Asa Ellerup's attorney says the guns are Marshall property and worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Back in July, investigators took more than 280 guns from the suspected Gilgo Beach killer's Massapequa Park home. Ellerup filed for divorce 6 days after his arrest. Now, for the latest on the Gilgo killings, go over to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. And the new COVID vaccine booster shot is rolling out this week. It comes as new cases and hospitalization rise here on the island and across the country.
People have questions about new strains, new variants, what's this all about? And as we're approaching the fall season, we've seen a pattern when all respiratory illnesses start to creep up.
Northwell nurse Sandra Lindsay is the first person to get this new booster. She was also the first person to get the first vaccine that came out. And Hurricane Lee is growing in the Atlantic Ocean. Bill Corbell has the latest on what this means for the Long Island.
For the second time in a week and a half or so, big waves hitting Long Island. This in response to Hurricane Lee. It's far away, but it's headed our way. Hi, meteorologist Bill Corbell with you. There's Lee way down there. It's a good 900 miles from us, but it is moving northward, fortunately northward, because there's no land out there. It's close to Bermuda, but the first land it hits will probably be up towards eastern New England. Lee still has strong Category 2 winds, 110 miles per hour with stronger gusts. And you can see the forecast track, which has been very consistent, moving northward, not westward. So that moves it east of us. This would be Saturday morning, passing east of Cape Cod. But we will get the edge effects, the peripheral effects, if you will, because the storm will be enlarging. It may get weaker in terms of wind strength, but it will get stronger in size, larger in size. So there we go. This is interesting. This is Saturday afternoon. And notice we're on the west edge of some of those heavy rain bands spiraling around that storm. A little shift west, we get more of the rain. A little shift east, we get less. And the same with the winds, mainly on the east end, where you could see winds of 40 miles per hour. There's a high surf advisory. Those waves will be pounding in. Beach erosion coming up. And a small craft advisory, at least till Friday. That may be increased beyond that. But this is mainly a South Shore event, an East End event for rain, a South Shore for all of those strong, powerful waves that will, again, produce some beach erosion. That's Saturday. After that, though, we get a break. We clear it out, and we get nice weather in here for Sunday and next week. So that's the latest on Hurricane Lee, moving offshore, passing us Saturday morning.
All right, and let's take a look at your Long Island weather. Tonight we have partly cloudy skies with some thunderstorms, it seems, and tomorrow it's going to be in the mid-70s and sunny.
Long Island weather is brought to you by the Canine Center.
A Jericho Middle School student helped organize a chess tournament to raise Holocaust awareness. Jill Wagner has the story.
At just 12 years old, Michael Lee of Jericho is a competitive chess player and budding Holocaust historian.
I mainly got most of my knowledge about the Holocaust from watching movies, documentaries, reading some books by myself.
He's drawn to stories of Jewish chess players and how they managed to survive the war.
I want to welcome you to the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center. I want to also thank Michael Lee, whose idea this was, and he's a brilliant young man.
The idea? Checkmate Hate, a chess tournament and fundraiser at the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center in Glen Cove, where dozens of players from across the island could compete, have some fun, and learn a little history.
We want to do our best to be more aware, to educate ourselves, and of course, to checkmate the hatred that we have toward others.
So my grandmother is right here.
Dr. Bernie Fershpin is an educator at the museum and son of a Holocaust survivor. He says each year about 25,000 students from across the island walk through these exhibits.
A big focus of the museum here in Glen Cove is the kids. 1.5 million Jewish children were murdered during the Holocaust. That is the entire population of Nassau County.
What we teach are the lessons of the Holocaust, but we also want to inspire and give hope to children that they can make a difference in their future, that they could stand up and rise above for themselves and for society.
I connect with that because there's also been, not to me especially, but just to the Asian race, there's also been, Asian hate in terms of COVID and the pandemic coming in 2020.
And back on the tournament floor, Lee calls chess the universal language and a reminder that we are all in this together. For Newsday TV, Jill Wagner.
Incredible young man. Now, to read more about the chess tournament, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Hungry? Well, we're rolling out our annual list of the top 100 restaurants on Long Island. Macy Eglin and Andy Berlin take a look in today's Feed Me TV.
This is Newsday's 11th year compiling this top 100 restaurants list across Long Island. Andy Berlin is one of our food critics. What makes these restaurants one of the best? Like, what are you looking for when you go in?
I personally am looking for a place that I want to take my friends and family who are not from here, and something interesting, something that you can't find anywhere else in the country that makes Long Island special. Paprika in Great Neck is an incredible, contemporary, beautiful restaurant. The owners, Ronnie and David Zakin, they took an old Italian restaurant and they kept the pizza oven, and now they're making all these rustic flatbreads and tagines in it. Colorful, flavorful, just beautiful restaurant.
Awesome. All right, so number 2, what do we got?
Mythos in Hicksville specializes in South Indian food, which is vegetarian, and also street snacks. They're called chaat. They have different crackers, right? And they just have like a painter's brush flecking these different sauces on the plate. Green chutney, yogurt, sweet tamarind, until it becomes this like Jackson Pollock painting of sauce.
Everything's tasty and delicious, but also like a full work of art on the plate.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
All right, number 3, what we at?
Ruta Oaxaca in Patchogue. Just a funky, cool restaurant, originally from Queens. This is their second location. Their salsas are so spicy, legitimate.
You love hot sauces.
I do.
That's like your thing.
I love spicy.
Okay.
And you know, to find a gourmet restaurant that has a real spicy salsa, that's rare. They have this dish, Enchiladas Huatulco, which is a beach town in Oaxaca. And it's like this habanero, this orange habanero creamy sauce. And then you dig in and there's seafood and cheesy, like melted cheese in there. It's so good.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So 97 others to try across Long Island, but these 3 sound great.
I love them.
Now for more on Newsday's top 100 restaurants, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
When you're covering the courts, it's paramount that you get your information from a trusted source. I feel that at Newsday here, we're documenting Long Island history every single day.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. Thank you so much for watching. We leave you now with a closer look at tomorrow's forecast.